Well, I had a great weekend, to say the least, and it wasn't for the reasons that most people have great weekends. They're partying, they're having amazing experiences as far as something extreme that they wanted to do. But from my end, it was such a satisfying weekend in the sense of that I was able to reconnect with people and to be around a moment that reminds me and reminds people around me of the journey that we've been through together in life. And in particular, it was my friend's daughter's 21st birthday. And it's thinking back to the times where she wasn't even born and I was meeting with him and getting started here in Naples, and to start the conversations and him sharing about his life and letting me know that he had a daughter on the way that he was going to name Brooke. And here we are many years later, she is, and we're out there celebrating and seeing the path, the journey that she's taken in a very positive way. And for me, when I have moments like I did this weekend, not only with that, but reconnecting back with people in Naples, it reminds me of the gratitude that I've instilled in me now at this phase in life. I call it the middle of the great phase that I'm in. Before it was Middle Man Club, fan club, which I kind of created an Instagram for that, and obviously this page. Then I have Middle Mars, which was like post-divorce, very raunchy, taboo, kind of just speaking my mind about everything and anything. And I know that it bothered a lot of people. And then lastly, it was this phase that I'm in right now. And it's a level of tranquility and appreciation for everything that you've been through, more so than ever before. And I guess it's when you have a moment like we had this weekend and seeing the kids growing and seeing the people that are around us. I think of it as in that episode of Lost at the end. And if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, is that at the end they're all waiting for each other to go to the next phase in life. And I think that is a clear analogy of where I'm at right now in life, appreciating everybody that has been part of the journey for so many years. Because I've been in Naples for 22 years, and it feels like it doesn't feel like 22 years. So it's and then connecting and then just seeing the new characters, people that are involved in the family and things like that, and to still be a part of that, it just made me reflect on it enough and to be appreciative of the good things that are happening. Because I know that from the side of family, like my actual blood family, I don't have that connection with them. Not that I don't want to, but because we just don't see eye to eye. And unfortunately, when people have toxic traits and people are not able to take accountability for their share and disconnect, then I can't allow myself to have healthy boundaries and continue to allow that type of energy into my life. I think that's something that I try to tell people, and that's the thing that I was actually texting my friend about this, because he's reflecting on how much growth he's made as a person and the journey that he's taken, and knowing that I was part of that journey, to see all the ups and downs and to see the evolution of him as a person, and to see him grow into the man that he is now, and to see the children is carving their own path is something that I'm very proud of to be a part of. But not having that connection with family, not because of my doing, because I believe ultimately any type of relationship, whether it's dating, whether it's friends, or whether it's family, there has to be a reciprocation of effort, of accountability, of trying to understand each other and find common ground, because there's more things in common that we have than differences. But if people still want to hang on to certain things and people are not able to grow and forgive and move on, or even discuss the things that are causing the disconnect, then you learn as you get to my age is that you don't want to have that in your life, because you understand that some people, they're never going to be able to get over that wall. It's the reality of it. So like going back to, in lieu of not having the great relationship with my family, having these adoptive family environments where people have welcomed me into their house. There's so many people that I mean, Ivan and his family were number one in my life before I was even a basketball player. Even people cared about me on the basketball side. So there's just so many families out there, that the Lidos, the McManamies, of course, a huge part of my support system that I didn't have when, and the Hawks, Mr. Lee's. I mean, I can keep going on. I don't want to leave anybody out, but it's just so many families that allowed me and trusted me to be a part of their journey within their family. And as we all know, family dynamics, people can get really wild and say crazy things, and because at the end of the day, it's family. So it's a sacred space there to really be vulnerable and to showcase our flaws and still be loved at the end of the day. And I've never had that growing up, and I don't foresee that happening in my life. But again, I think that me being in this moment this past weekend and knowing that, gosh, I've known these people for so many years, and to feel like seeing that journey and seeing it over and over, because I mean, now with my daughter, I see it, her friends growing, and I know when I see them doing their thing many years from now, I'm going to be excited, because it's always great to see people grow and evolve. That's something that I feel, sadly, what happens in a lot of cases is that people still view you as a person from a certain period of your life. So there's people that still view me as the middleman from Lakeland days. I've changed a lot. That was a long time ago, over 25 years, right? You have people that know me in my marriage phase, or know me before in the high school days, whatever. And even my family, in my case, they still see me as a little boy, that they can talk to me a certain way and expect me to fall in line. And I think that, unfortunately, I try my best to understand other people's perspectives and the way they view me, because I believe that's something that I've been very cognizant about. I have high emotional intelligence, and I can sense people's ability to understand me or be able to connect with me. And I think that you understand that sometimes people still see you from a perspective that you're not there anymore. That's not who you are, and you've grown and evolved. So again, going back to this amazing experience that I had here with my friend, it's a reminder of all of us always evolving. And I always go back to this Muhammad Ali quote that I read many years ago when I was in Atlanta, and it said that a man that tells me that he hasn't changed in 50 years has wasted 50 years of their life. And I know that I'm not the person that I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I feel I'm in a place of full gratitude, appreciation. For the first time in my life, reflecting back on the journey to get to where I am now. And I know that when we were yesterday having a good time and really reflecting on what this moment meant for me and the family, and I was talking to my friend, and he was telling me, man, just the challenges that we've been through to get to this point. And I said, you gotta love all those experiences, because you wouldn't be the person you are today. I know that's how I feel. That even through the challenges and the hardships and the trauma that I've been through, at the end, I love who I am as a person. So I am thankful for all those things that have happened in my life. And I feel that it's easier said than done, because you still see people at my age still struggling with letting go of certain things, including myself. But if you're willing to, I guess, if you're willing to accept that this is part of who you are and there's no shame in it, and that it's okay to work through it and be better, I just feel that that's what life's all about, because at the end we're going to be long and gone, and like my great grandkids are not going to know me if I have any. There's not 3 generations from now. We're not. So I think that the way I look at life is to be a beacon of good, is what I call it, and to be in the moment, enjoy these things, be impactful to people in your life in a positive way, and make sure that you're enjoying and basking in the moments. I try to tell that to my daughter, and I'll leave with this. I try to tell her all the time that you want to live in the present, because next thing you know, high school's going to be gone. Then different phase of life. So all these phases that you're in the moment in, make sure you bask in it, enjoy it, appreciate it every day. Because when you look back, like I can now, be able to say, you know what, I had a great time. I'm so thankful for all those things. Yeah, I could have done things differently, but at the end, I love who I am, because I wouldn't have done it any other way. So I wouldn't be the person, I should say, that I am today. And I love who I am today. I love my self-awareness, my ability to help people, to help people find themselves, to find their path, and support them, give them unconditional support and acceptance, because that is my superpower. So I think it's just a reflection of this weekend. Was one of those where it reminds you that the path that you're in is the right one, and that it's impacting people in your life in a positive way, and you're also celebrating the wins. And I think that was one of those moments where we were celebrating the day. So great times.